Good morning, everyone. This is Bonsai Anonymous, and thought I would show you. This is the one I did yesterday. What I did to it was three things. I glued these on the bottom, and I noticed one's way off to the side, so it's not going to stay very well unless I'm very careful. Nextly, yeah, great. Let's see here. Next, I wired this and didn't break it, fortunately. The last thing I was trying to figure out was how I was going to say that this was the front using my marker. And I think I did it, I just don't see it here. And of course now we see this is coming off. So is that going to stay? No, not at all. All right, so we'll just glue it again. Oh, shoot. And I need to do this in such a way that, let's see here. Okay, so we're going to put you right here. And you are going to end up right there. Okay. This is turning into a debacle, as they say. All right, so I'm going to pretend that that's going to work. It might. Okay, so I know when things don't work, I just try to move ahead. Okay, next, that's got to stay there because it's been glued, unfortunately. But this, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out a way to have this work. No good. Okay, so we'll pretend we can see it now, even though this is the way I want to do it, but I'm just too disorganized. Okay, so what did I come over here to do? Another one of my homemade pots. All these three are homemade. This one is from a little tiny mold. See that little mold there? And it's not doing too well, but I'm not going to give up on it quite yet. This one is also from a mold. A nice one, but the bottom didn't take on this one for some reason. I just guess I didn't fill it up enough, so I just glued this on the bottom to hold it straight. So what am I going to do with it now? Well, I think I'm going to wire it, and it shouldn't need much more than this wire. No, it shouldn't. So we're going to take it from there right to here. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're all right. So yesterday I tried to use my Walkman hat. That's not true. My baseball hat mount for my cell phone, but I don't really have control of that yet. And so I think what I learned is that I can't use that camera or that mount here at the bench because I'm looking all over the place and it's even making me dizzy. Okay, so what do we got here? This is an anchor. I'll say this over and over and over again. I got to get it down in there a little way. So that's not very far, but we're going to take these out of the way so that we have some room. Now, the other day I talked about bending wire and how it should be easy or it could be easy. Well, this is another case where, first of all, it needs to be wired because this is straight. Can you see that? We don't generally look at straight angles, and so we end up with things like this instead. Okay. And let's get this back in here, where it was. All right, that's pretty good. We can go like this. Okay, this mount that I'm using right now is the simplest one I have, and I don't even know what it's for or where I got it. It's just got a clamp on each side. One clamp's on the bench, and the other camera goes in the other one. It's just so simple, and it's so much shorter than this yellow one, and it's just a better idea. Okay, so enough of that. Enough of that. Now, what do we do with this? Well, it's anchored. So the deal is that we're going to put this around here, and I think it's fair to say that the softer the wood is, the closer these wires are going to be coiled. I think that's the right way to say it. And why is that? It's because the wood, such as it is, needs a lot of support. And let's see here. Can you see how that's looking? Okay. And it's kind of close together for how often how close I usually do. These leaves are just in the way, but I can't really get rid of them because they're right here at the end, and I don't want to lose them. Okay. All right, so before we go any farther, and we could have done it before this, let's decide what the front is and how we're going to do this. Okay, so I think now, all right, now it's a little wobbly. You see, it's a little wobbly. So the wiring didn't break it. It didn't break it, and I think part of the reason is that it's maybe a little dry. It's not very heavy, and I always thought that that the more water that was in these, the easier they would bend, and that's just not the way it is. The more water there is, the harder it is to bend. The more rigid this is, and more liable to crack. Okay, more liable to crack. Boy, that's hard to say for me. All right, so we're gonna first of all put a little tag on here. I just want you to notice that this is another one of my creations. This has an old solar. Let's put it right here. It has an old solar light glass. It's not plastic, it's glass, and it's glued on to 2 copper pipe ends, and these originally had holes in them because they were bells. And the reason that's important is that some of these are now pots. And if you look in the bottom, you can see a hole, and it does go all the way through, but unfortunately it stops here. So this can't really be a plant thing anymore. It can't be unless I do something with that, and I really don't want to, because I'm kind of happy with this, because that works great for there. It goes right there. Okay, good enough of that. Good enough. Okay, so this is a rouge berry, and I have to concentrate when I write, just like a 4-year-old, because I can't control my fingers. Wired 11, 25, 23. Okay, so he goes here. I really like these tags for mainly because they're big, and they're kind of rigid. They're easy to push down. They don't bend over too much. Okay, so now what do we do? We're just about done with this one for today. Just about. I said that it was a little light here, a little wobbly. Okay, and that's something we'd rather not have. So how do we fix it? Well, it's easy. We get some of this miracle heavy gravel that we call it, and it's just aquarium gravel. So what I'm thinking is that it's probably not toxic. You know, if you could put your goldfish in it, I'm hoping that's true. All right, so now, so he's getting done, and I'm going to leave him that way. I like that. And so he will probably come back. I don't know what he'll do. It doesn't matter. He's going to come back or he won't. I don't tell them what to do. But I am interested in what this stuff is, what it really is. It says it's aquarium gravel. I think it's something, but it's painted and it's so heavy. This is 5 pounds. It's like a bowling ball. It's very heavy. And so I'm not sure what it is. But it works for this quite well, which is to anchor down things that are getting wobbly. And this is what you should do when you first plant something. And what does it do? Well, if you notice, the topping for the soil is gradually sinking. Okay? And we want that because we don't want there to be any air pockets around the roots. This is a good way for the roots to not get any water. And it looks to me like this particular one is a water hog, and that's okay. We have water here. Okay, so he's finished. The only thing I want to do is figure out how to a way to put my little symbol on here, my little Japanese symbol that I'm getting addicted to. It'd be nice if one of these pens would do the job, but I'm not sure that it will. So let's take something out here and write on it. I don't think so. Well, we'll try. And over. And up. And then here. It's hard to write this way, and I don't have a lot of luck writing in any sort of fashion. Okay, so 2 down, go down like this, and 2 over. Okay, that is my best crooked rendition of the Japanese character for front, and it may mean something completely different than the front I think it means. Yeah, entirely possible. It doesn't matter. That looks a little like Japanese. And just a perusal of everything else here. I'm going to water that and maybe just put a little bit of this in it just to pretend like it's going to make it. Got a little beauty here. All right. Now we're going to have to water them. And I think all right. Okay. I'm just wetting it down, and presumably some of it will come through the bottom at a point. That's what we're hoping. And did it yet? Nope. So we'll just keep going. In fact, I'm going to just pour some in. Okay, and then here too. Okay. And now it's dripping out. It's good. At least you are. You're slow. That may mean that. It's jammed up. That's entirely possible. I have something that leaves down here, and I know that's true because in the morning when I come out, very often something is tipped off of this here. So this isn't great. This is going to try to get down through a little more here. And pour some out. Maybe give us a chance to get those Japanese characters erased. Notice how they're not there anymore. And this is the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to drip out and go onto the ground. That's the way it works out here. Okay, wire just got bent off the thing. Okay. All right. Now these two are ready to go, at least temporarily. You too, except I want you to dry. I want your glue to dry. So we're going to, how are we going to do this? I'm going to put this someplace where I won't lose it. I don't know if there's a place. I guess that'll work. We need some more skewers, some more of the bamboo skewers. I'm getting low. This worked pretty good with Elmer's glue, the regular kind, which surprises me a little, but I think as long as I'm careful with it, it should be okay. I think that's all I want to do right now, and that's pretty good. I'm going to work a little bit on around the fountain, and I made another pot. I can show you that. I'll show you that on the way out. It's weird. Okay, so some months ago, I had what do we call it? A stove made out of concrete. And basically this is the bottom part of it. The way you do it is you make it inside one of these plastic buckets. That could have been the one I used, but I don't remember. The problem that I had was that the concrete has to be consistent. And what's left here, pretty much in this piece, is the consistent concrete. The rest of it broke off. Okay, so that's in the process. Over here is the other half, and this one is getting dry, and that's the top half of the, is that true? Yeah, it might be the top half of the thing, just broken off in half, and I put this piece of driftwood in, and I put a hole in the bottom. Let's see if that hole still goes through. Yeah, almost. Okay, we are going to be able to drill that through. So this will be much drier at the end of today. Okay, that's what I did yesterday, building these two weird fountains. Okay, that's enough for today. Bonsai Anonymous, his coffee, his drill, his screwed up shield, and there you are. 18 minutes. Woohoo. Bye-bye.